Yeah, well, we certainly had our fair share of opportunities in both matches. I thought over the course of the weekend, starting with the Penn State match, came out of the gates ready to go. I felt like the doubles point started off really well, kind of similar to what we've seen in our past couple matches, where Luca and Dinos were doing great things, and Ben and Ignazi were good. We had a new doubles team at 3 there with Leo and Henry together. But yeah, we put ourselves in a position to win that doubles point. Luca and Dinos recorded their best win of their doubles career so far, beating the number 4 team in the country, pretty convincingly, 6-4. Yeah, credit to Penn State. They kept battling. Felt like we left some points on the board. Ignazi served for his match in the second set, 6-5. That could have been a point right there. Ben, after winning his first set, had countless breakpoint opportunities in the second and third set to win his match. Lucas served for the second set in his match, 5-3, and had 2 set points and just couldn't quite do it there. And Dinos did a great job, though. Dinos got us on the board there in singles, and I think he's showing what his hard work is paying off right now. So that was great to see, and it was a tough one for Henry. But it was 6-1 on the scoreboard. I felt like easily could have been a 4-3 or a 5-2 our way, and just was a little disappointed with how that result landed up. Not in our favor, but. And then Princeton, we had a quick turnaround. We had to leave Penn State that night, drive to Princeton, and get ourselves prepared for an evening match that day or the next day. And I thought our guys responded really well. We had 2 choices. We could have easily just packed things in and said, "Hey, we lost yesterday. We're not feeling up to it today," and disappear. And we did the exact opposite. And it started again with the doubles, where this time, instead of starting off well, we actually started off really poorly. We were down breaks on all 3 courts. And then credit to our guys, we really bounced back, getting back on courts 1 and 3 back on serve, and then Luca and Dinos getting another great win, being the number 15 team in the country, 7-5 after being down the whole time. And Henry and Leo were up a break, then went down a break, and battled back to give us the doubles point there. So that was great momentum. And we started off slow this time though in singles. We lost 5 first sets, and as anyone knows, going down 5 first sets makes things a little challenging. You got to come from behind, and we almost did. I think the takeaways from this weekend are we're knocking on the door. Though Princeton and Penn State, I think Princeton's 7-1, and Penn State, beat LSU, who then went on to beat number 17 Tulane. Like, these are teams that are all in the top 50 or 40, and we're knocking on the door, and I think we need one of these to fall our way, and I think we can really get the momentum going here. So. Back to work. Yeah, I think a lot of it's chemistry. I think a lot of it's chemistry. How did 2 guys gel, on the court together? I can speak from my own experience when I would play doubles, and I think my teammate and I at the time just had good chemistry. You kind of know where your partner is going to go with a certain shot, depending on what shot comes to them. You have just a good sense of what your partner is going to do on the court. So I think that's really important. You have to get along really well, because there's going to be times where you guys are going to be down, and it's that resiliency and doing it together that's going to allow you to battle back. So I think that's really important to make a good doubles team. And then also I think game style is another one. Depending on how one guy plays, maybe the other style for the other guy maybe complements that player. So those are probably the biggest factors that I would say go into it. And Dinos and Luca obviously are showing that they're doing great with that, with how they complement each other at the moment. And I think all of our teams are. Ben and Ignazi the same. I think they complement each other well. And I know Henry and Leo were there this weekend, but Henry and Oliver have played together a lot, and they complement each other really well. For the guys, we've broken it up as a 3-part season. This was season 1, which we've just concluded. Season 2 is now going to be our outdoor regular season, and then season 3 is going to be the postseason. So that's kind of how we've broken it up for the guys. So right after this weekend, we wanted to take a couple days to sort of recharge the batteries mentally and physically. On Sunday, we stayed up in the Northeast, took the guys that traveled to New York City. I think a couple of our European guys had never been there before, so that was kind of a cultural experience for them. And then yesterday was just a full day to recover and just get their minds back into the swing of things and get caught up in school. And then today we'll get back to it just from a conditioning perspective, no tennis again. And then we'll hit tennis again starting tomorrow. And I think we have probably 7 good days of training outdoors to get ourselves ready for this next block of matches. We've got, I think, 3 road weekends left for the rest of the season before the conference tournament. So actually, I know we've been on a big road swing here, but this next chunk of matches, we're going to have a lot of home matches here for the next 2 months, which I think is really exciting, and the guys are pumped for it. So we're just going to use these next 7-8 days to get prepared for the outdoor season and look ahead to South Florida and Florida Gulf Coast.